Welcome back to the program.
Indeed, it's been said that when one door closes, we often look so long and so regretfully at it that we don't see another that has opened.
Let's now take a look at this week's edition of Outliers.
Martha Chumo graduated high school with an A and was destined for a career in medicine, and she decided to do something drastic.
I fought with everyone. I turned down a scholarship to go to the US. Blah. The people don't get it. And it's considered failure. And I'm thinking, if I didn't push as hard as I did and had all the fights and stood my ground, which so many people don't do, we lose so many employers, we lose so many successful businesses, we lose so much talent.
In spite of pressure from her family, her education sponsor, and her friends, Martha decided to follow her passion for programming. She was accepted into Hacker School in New York, a retreat where budding programmers gather for 3 months to write code, learn new languages, and share industry insights. She'd even secured funding for her trip, but this dream was crushed when she was denied a visa twice.
I'd written blogs, I'm going to Hacker School. There were like 3 conferences I was going to speak at while I was in New York. All of that backfired. So when that happened, I decided I'll start a Hacker School in Nairobi, because it was literally I'd been denied permission to learn, which didn't make sense for me. What we're actually doing on the ground is run workshops for young people to learn mobile development, web development, and how to play with hardware. A lot of us don't develop things in Africa. It's like we expect it to fall from above. We'll never have a Stanford or an MIT here unless we actually build at Stanford or an MIT. So it got me thinking, I could have gone to Hacker School and came back. How many have gone before me? Probably a number. But until one is actually built here, we'll still have to be hustling and begging for visas to go to someone else's land to build.
Martha founded Nairobi Dev School a year ago using $15,000 she raised on the internet. She was 19 years old.
So there were people I started this school with, and had a bunch of very bad days. And I ran the campaign. I was aiming to get $50,000. I didn't get. I made 15. And they got very discouraged because we were budgeted for a year. Of course, this would work. This is too little to run a school for a year, and a free school for that matter. So they left. And then the first day, I literally started class, the only one. I was a teacher, I was the community manager, I was the administrator, I was the accountant. And at the end of the last day, I was like, what have I gotten myself into? What is this? Oh gosh. Everyone was like, that's not working. Why didn't you just go to university? Why didn't you just go to med school? I was meant to go to medical school. Why didn't you just go to school? What are you doing? What's this whole thing you're trying to start? No one was getting it. My family was not getting it. My friends were not getting it. It was just a very lonely period, I think, in my life.
Being a teenager when she started this school, has Martha's age been a limiting factor?
It's been good for PR. So I started it when I turned 19. People, the 19-year-old who started a school or is running a school, it's good for news articles, very good for books, inspirational books, very good for tweets and blogs, not good for signing checks too.
But for Martha, giving up wasn't an option.
I got a lot of people turning me down. Before I did my second crowdfunding, I was like, you know what, I'm doing this myself then. And now after a year of doing things, it makes sense. People actually now they want to partner. Now I can ask someone to give me space at their library to run a class, and they do it. And I can ask UNESCO to fund a training, and they fund it. Now it gives you some authority. But it actually took you a while of almost proving yourself. And I've discovered the easiest way to prove yourself is just do it. After you do it, you actually prove people wrong. Right? People are not failures. We are not disorganized. We're not all those bad things. We actually focus people who can change society. I don't need the government to create a job for me. It's actually up to me to create jobs. Look at the countries with very low unemployment. It's a private sector. The government does not employ everyone. It's a private sector that employs people. It's entrepreneurs. It's people who actually decide to change things. So many companies approach me, very nice jobs after I started this, come work for us, blah, blah. They're very lucrative. And there are times actually, That's not too bad. Oh, it won't be too bad to have a salary again. This hustling life is so much. I had to move back to my mom's house. I made a lot of changes in my own life to ensure I give my all to running this.
Martha's success is well-deserved considering the sacrifices she's made. But far from resting on her laurels, she's already planning the future.
I actually want to run a training for teachers. So I want teachers. So as I said, I want every kid to get a chance to learn this. I want this to be in school curricula. As a society, we need to approach education very differently, and we need to accept something different.
This library, filled with rows and rows of mostly very old books, is an interesting juxtaposition to the programming classes that Martha holds in this very room. Her ideas are as progressive as her ambitions are high, and it looks like nothing will stand in the way of this 20-year-old. Nancy Kachungira, KTN.